The problem that we're trying to work through as a community, as individuals, as organizations is this. How is the content that we send out? How is the content that we receive in? How is it going to stand out from the inbox clutter? We all know what it's like to receive all of these messages, and we know what it's like to have so many different channels of engagement. So it's a matter of keeping focus. Now, according to Forrester's research, the average person receives upwards of 120 emails a day or more, yet 73% remains unread.
Welcome, everyone, to the 1% Edge podcast. Here we have the privilege of meeting amazing guests and having conversations about their own personal journey to get 1% better. Today's hot topic, how to stand out in email communications. What I mean by it is that so many of us are overwhelmed with so many email messages. Very few get noticed. We got faced in, very few get read. So how do you fight through all that? And to help us with today's topic, I am honored to have Lisa S. Jones, founder and chief iMail officer at iMail Inc. Lisa has won multiple awards, such as the Stevie Award for Innovator of the Year, and she's been part of Inc. magazine's Female Founder 250 list of the most intriguing women entrepreneurs. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm happy to be here as well. Thanks for taking the time to do this. All right, let's jump into the topic. So first off, I think that there's email overload, right? I mean, and it's been like this for years. Maybe it's only gotten worse. I mean, there's emails I never read because they don't seem intriguing enough to even get started, and I just delete or file away. So let's define the problem. Lisa, from your experience, what is the major problem that we're trying to work through on email?
The problem that we're trying to work through as a community, as individuals, as organizations is this. How is the content that we send out? How is the content that we receive in? How is it going to stand out from the inbox clutter? We all know what it's like to receive all of these messages, and we know what it's like to have so many different channels of engagement. So it's a matter of keeping focus. Now, according to Forrester's research, the average person receives upwards of 120 emails a day or more, yet 73% remains unread. So how do we all stand out? How do we build deeper connection from the email inbox? You know, the landscape for email is over 50 years old. At this point, email has been around, and we're able to send text messages through, hyperlinks through. But now it's time to talk about, with the advancements of AI, with the advancements of where we are in this journey, how to introduce different innovative concepts like video to the game of email.
All right. And I am one of those that gets way too many emails. In fact, what's
Yes.
worse is I feel like I have 5 different email accounts. So sometimes I get the same email 5 times.
Oh my goodness. It's true. And they say that the average person checks their email inbox 5 times a day.
Well, I know people that live in email, like they always have it on. They're always keeping an eye on it. And then I also know other folks that, as a way to be more productive, they literally time block, hey, I'm going to check email in the morning, the middle of the day, in the afternoon or evening, and that's it. I'm not going to be a slave to email. Back to email, Lisa, I've heard people say, well, your email needs to be shorter, longer, bulletized, more personalized. How do you get your message across in a way that someone will actually be willing to hear it?
Right. That's a wonderful question. And the answer to that is time is limited. You know, according to a Microsoft study, it said that the attention span of a goldfish is 8 seconds. Okay. I don't know how they measure that, but that's what they have as the stat. Our attention span as humans is even shorter. So you have to be concise and compelling. Longer will never win when it comes to paragraphs of text. unless it's something critical or you're winning millions of dollars and you want to read about that. But it has to be very short and concise, and it needs to be personalized more so to the person or the interest of the person you're sending it to. The number one factor that you need in today's world for engagement and to increase your metrics is to have video. Now, why is video king? Video is king in email communications because we remember more of what we see by 95% than 10% of what we read. When we look at products, when you think about when you go to do research on products, you're more apt to purchase and to learn more when you see the product video than when you just say, okay, I need this product, I'm going to read about it, here we go, and I'm going to buy it. So video is critical at this point. I think when the pandemic came about, it required us, some of us, to come out of our comfort zone and cut the camera on as well for Zoom, Teams, any other system, Chime, all of them, Google Meet. And it made it more personal from a connection standpoint when you couldn't meet someone in person. That is now translated even more. It's even more relevant, and it's even more important as to why all of us need to leverage video and have it in our email inboxes so that it will automatically play from when your customers view the content so that they are captivated immediately. The number one thing to answer that question that you asked me is we have to delight our customers. We have to engage our audiences. And the way to do that is with video in the email.
All right. So I'm intrigued, and I know you sent me some samples, and I would say it wasn't even, it was like you get to pull more senses into it. Not only could I hear, you having a message or the message of what you sent me, but I could also see it.
Yes.
And the graphical, pleasure, like for example, that Porsche commercial you sent me, I thought was awesome. Maybe because I'm a Porsche fan, but I mean, you could feel like you're in the car. You can look out the window. You could hear the engine roar. So talk about hearing it. Traditionally, people would just send a big video file. So, I mean, how do you do it in a way that it isn't like, oh my God, I got to go send them a 30 gigabyte file or more for them to get this? Because that's another big fear. People are worried about, oh my God, I'm going to get a virus. So how do you get over that part of it?
Absolutely. When I started the company as the chief IMAIL officer, the year was 2004. IMAIL is headquartered in Atlanta. At the time, I was a corporate exec in a major telecom firm, and I had many suppliers and vendors who wanted to introduce their services to this big telecom brand. And they would all send me PDFs and attachments and all these large files that were 10 or 15 meg saying, I would love for you to come out and meet and see our plant, or we would love to come in and present. But here's the thing. They were taking up my bandwidth in my email inbox as their potential customer. So what does that leave me to do as the person that's looking at 300 emails from suppliers and vendors that all have important services, but it's just a matter of time. Now, because I have bandwidth constraints in my email inbox, that forced me to have to decide, and am I going to come back to this email later? Maybe, maybe not. Am I going to put it in a file 13 that I never come back to? Or am I going to delete it because I need my space in my inbox? And that really got me thinking about the importance of communication, and that email is the preferred channel of communication by 83%. 83% of us in the world leverage email and it's preferred. So I got to thinking about bandwidth and how important it is to have it. So we've developed a technology that enables, it's called IMAIL, EYEMAIL. And it enables the video content to deliver in the email inbox at only, on average, 15 kilobytes in size. That's smaller than a text message, and you're able to deliver up to 60 seconds of HD quality directly in the email inbox for your messages.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. So that helps us, make sure we're not overloading them. So that sounds amazing. I saw some of the clips you provided me. Some of them were you providing a message. For example, the Porsche commercial was amazing. I mean, do you have to have like a professional production company to produce this sort of content?
You do not, because the way we designed email is to be agnostic, to work with your existing email service provider system. So some companies, some people will ask, well, Lisa, is iMail an email service provider company? We are not. What we are is a partner for you from bringing that email to life, so that we're able to deliver that engagement for you. Now, in terms of your question of do you have to hire a professional crew, in this day and age, the way that the iPhone is and having good lighting, you do amazing things. Also, one of the things we've learned from TikTok and Instagram is you don't have to be 100% perfect. People love connection. People love relatability. And that's the beauty. That's the power of all communication. And that's what I really love is that we all are seeking human connection, and your messages deserve to be seen, heard, and felt. So, with that being said, you can record on your devices. You can, but make sure you have good lighting, please, and to have your phone on a stable platform. That's one. You can record on Zoom even and save the message, or different platforms. Now, ideally, you would want it professional, depending on what you're sending out to whom and whom your audience is. But in today's world of modern advancements, you can definitely record the message yourself and deliver authentic and compelling content.
All right. Um, is this more for, hey, it's larger enterprise, getting brand awareness, like the beautiful Porsche commercial you sent me? Or can individuals also use this more for more focused? Hey, I am going to email Lisa today, and I'm going to give her a personalized video about, what problems I solve for customers and why she might want to engage and have a conversation with me. And it's part of a focused prospecting campaign. Is it one or the other? Or is it both?
It's a hybrid for sure, because everything in life should add some spice and some goodness. And that's the way we designed it, is to be a solution that all of us at different levels can use. So our primary customers, like from when I started up until now, have primarily been enterprise customers. We work with Microsoft, we work with Delta Airlines, we work with MGM Resorts, so many high Fortune 500 brands. My passion as the chief IMO officer since day one, I've always understood the plight of all of us having a message to send, something to say, something to share. And I'm so proud to say that in this year, starting next month, we are offering iMail as a means and a subscription model that will enable our customers to be able on on an emerging mid-tier nonprofit, to be able to send out one-to-one directly from their email inbox. Use Gmail or Outlook. You can send it out in a video communication directly from your email. Or if you're sending out to millions of people, like we did the launch of Windows 11, in the integration of our technology, that went out to 30 million subscribers. So it's a matter of what you want to send out, and you're still able to use the mechanism of your choice in terms of your email service provider or system.
Excellent. All right. So you mentioned, it could be anything from your own iPhone and good lighting to a professional crew. What
Yes.
what type of messaging over video have you seen that really works for folks? Because I think back, because when I got started in this business 16 years ago, someone offered, hey, we could do little video clips, because they opened up this new studio, and he goes, write out what you want to do. He goes, I really want you to write it. And I
Yes.
wrote out a huge, bunch of words. And then he goes, Carlos, we want this to be 30 seconds. So you're going to have to chunk that and chunk it more. And you got to get more specific. And
Yes.
I had a horrible time slimming it down to get to a really core message. So I'm curious, from your perspective, what video content, or how do you get clients to get video content really impacts them on their messaging?
That's a wonderful question. And I'll give a few nuggets there. One is not to sound like you're reading. Please. If you're if you are reading from a teleprompter, please have the type. And I can't tell you which tool per se because I'm still learning about that. But everything I tend to do is natural, so I don't have to look at a teleprompter to deliver my message. But I hate to. I just don't like it when you're looking at the camera and then you see people's eyes going here, there. They're looking down. So
That was
please,
me.
well, no way was that you, Carlos.
Well, I ended up crashing that one because I've decided I am not able to read a teleprompter and look at the camera and act natural all at the same time. So I get rid of that teleprompter. I remembered my message and I went natural and I did much, much better.
Yes, and smiling, you can never go wrong with smiling. I mean, that's engagement. That's giving you endorphin or all of these good feelings that help you to feel better too. So smile. That helps. I would also say not just to be still in the communication, like you're a cardboard statue and you're just rattling off stats and everything of that nature. You want something that provides an overview of your company. So it's good to still mix in some graphics of different things of an overview. I'll give another example. Here's something that's so crucial, and it helps you to help close more deals, to get more follow-up meetings, and the next step. That is, okay, you're happy, you've secured that big meeting with the company that you wanted, you deliver your best presentation. Now it's time for the follow-up. How are you going to follow up with that wonderful prospective customer? Are you going to send them an email, a flat email that has paragraphs of text? It was nice to meet you. Thank you so much. I know we're aligned. I look forward to next steps. I'll follow up with you next Friday. And here's my capability statement. I'm going to attach it here. I know it's 10 meg, but you're going to love it. And hit the send button. Is that the way to go in this day and time? No. So another way that you could use the technology for video and email is after your meeting, or you could have recorded it before the meeting, but ideally after the meeting, because you've learned some things, you can say, hello, X. It was such a pleasure to meet you and to learn more about your company and your upcoming initiatives. And we here at X Company, we're so excited for this opportunity to partner with you. We look forward to next steps, and thank you again for your time. Now, you would craft the message that you want, but which one would you prefer someone follow up with you with, Carlos?
I think the video one sounds much, much better. Personalized. You could hear their emotion in their words.
Yes.
I do a long email with bullet points of, hey, here's what I heard. Did I get it right? But I write it all up. Maybe I need to become a customer.
You do. And we'll talk about that after our session. Absolutely. Because time is our number one commodity in life. Between life, business, personal, everything we have going on, we have to maximize that. And we have to be impactful. We have to be thoughtful. We have to be thoughtful of other people's time. So how can we deliver that message? I too used to be the person that'll say, no, I got to recap everything. Bullet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, next steps 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. But what I learned in the research is people respond when it's very concise. You leverage AI, leverage Copilot or Chat GPT or these tools, because they will help you craft a short, concise message. That's one way to do it. But then also send out the video and the email, please. That would help you. And what's so great about it, you'll see the metrics increase in terms of how many people follow back up with you. And I can tell you this, out of all of the messages I send in follow up from a meeting, and I send out a personal Lisa S. Jones email thanking them for their time, and I'm authentic. It's not fake. It's authentic. The response to those in terms of them saying, Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time, we'll follow up, and them actually following up, I would say my percentage is about 82%.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
why I'm
hook.
on this evangelism bandwagon to help other brands and companies to know that you can do it too. Regardless if you're a startup that just started and are trying to find your way. If you are already established and have customers, we have holidays. You can follow up and such. We just wanted to thank you for your business and to thank you for the opportunity. And we look forward to continue to service you next year. It could be so many things you could send messages about. If you're an enterprise brand and you're getting your loyalty rewards out there to your customers or updates, anything. Maybe it's a crisis and you need to
Yeah.
communicate that. You don't want to receive an email telling you XYZ, personalize it and send it out. So that's the value of all of these communications that are centered around email.
All right. You mentioned metrics.
Yes.
Is there, I'm assuming you could track open rates. Is there a way, can it measure whether they actually clicked on the video and what percent of time that they listened to it? Or is that even possible?
You are such an amazing host. And I got to tell you, I really love your questions and your engagements because everything is spot on, and I get excited every time you ask me a question because it's so important. So thank you, Carlos. When I think about metrics, it's so important. Data matters. Data matters for sure. So, across the board, regardless of which industry you're in, email open rates are on average 20%. Customers of ours at iMail have seen open rates upwards of 60%. So 3 times greater for open. Part of that reason is 48% of us have a preview pane. That's where you're in your email, but then you've opened a side window where you can still scroll down and preview potentially what you might want to read. And because you're able to see that, that is further driving up your open numbers because iMail is the only thing that's moving with video. And you're like, what is that? Like if you see the Porsche or you see something going by from Delta and you see something moving, your eyes are more compelled to look at it. So that's open. Click-through rates on average across any industry is 4%. iMail customers have seen click-through rates over 38%.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
Yes. And so definitely the metrics matter. The content matters. Right. Your messaging to your audience matters. Also, you need to clean your email list. Now, you might be proud that you have 5,000 names or even 1,000 names, but here's the thing. It's more about the quality than the quantity. I mean, for example, if I had 100 emails in my inbox, for example, but I have 10 corporations that I'm really courting or whatnot, those 10 are more important than 100 of those 90 people that never respond or are never going to engage or whatnot. So don't worry as much about, I have to have 5,000 emails. Focus on the quantity and to make sure those email addresses are accurate so that when you create your video and email, it's delivering with intent and engagement.
Is there a way to track whether, like, let's say you send out a 60 or a 30-second message?
Yes.
Do we know whether they listen to all 30 seconds?
That's on the roadmap coming next.
That'd be cool too.
In our technology, absolutely. You could track your opens and click-throughs, your unsubscribes, but next is, of course, knowing, did you watch the full 30 seconds, 60 seconds? Right. And your next step, you could track the click. Did they click and take the call to action? Because that's what we want people to do. We want people we want our customers and prospects and members to click to take that next step for a call to action, be it to purchase something, to book something, to learn something, etc. So absolutely.
All right. Last question on the tech side, I promise. Even today, I mean, sometimes my message gets caught in the old spam filter. Is having video going to make it more susceptible to that? Less? What have you been seeing? It sounds like less because your open rates are so much better.
Absolutely. And it's also because we have a patent pending technology. As I mentioned, that I started the company in 2004. So we've seen a lot of ups and downs and trends. And we were very fortunate to be a partner with Microsoft, and they worked with us on our technology roadmap. And that's so amazing when you think about your journey at any point in time, and that we all need support and we need help. But in working together and collaborating, we were able to develop our technology at a scale of magnitude so that when an iMail delivers at that streaming 15 kilobytes, it delivers to the email inbox by over 92%. Now,
wow.
Yes. Now, by the nature of the internet, you're always going to have some anomalies where you're going to have some things that are going to filter to a different filter. But it's all about the technology base. So there are, if you try to just send a video yourself, it's going to be a large file size right now. And you don't want to do that per se. So yes, in terms of it delivering in the inbox, we have that covered, um, to make sure that your audience sees your message. And I can't wait to tell you, Carlos, just to let you know, iMail is working on so many exciting new products for our customers. And I can't wait to continue to share it with your audience and to share it with you, Carlos, because you're going to love it. And all of it is centered around the email inbox and the experience in email and mobile.
Awesome. This is like, social meets email.
Absolutely. And as the young kids tell me, this is like, oh, Miss Lisa, oh, you have TikTok and email. And so I'm not as big on
Yes.
TikTok, but that's what they relate it to, TikTok and email.
All right, Lisa. This has been a great conversation. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, your journey to get here.
Wow. Let's see. My journey to get here. So I'll start here. My journey started I'm from Alabama originally. And when I went to school, I had went to a school by the name of Alabama A&M in Huntsville, Alabama, known as Normal, Alabama. And I was one of these people that I always knew I wanted to do everything quick. I don't like long delayed. I was like, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to finish it on time. My friends partied 24/7. They will tell you that I partied some, but I still got back to the books. When it was time for graduation, I applied for jobs, applied. At that time, we were mailing out letters. That's what was happening, just to tell. And I ended up with two opportunities at the same time. Now, I was working at McDonald's hamburgers for 5 years of my life, from 16 to 21. But I learned so much at McDonald's hamburgers because it taught me customer service skills and how to talk to customers, how to take their orders, the operations, how to upsell. Would you like fries with that shake? I was a drive-through queen. And looking back on it, that was such an pivotal moment of my journey, even that I'm sharing it now. So when I graduated college, I had two offers. One was from NASA because my major was in logistics and procurement. That was my first offer. My second offer was from the CIA in Langley, Virginia. I had passed all the tests, everything. And I was like, yes, I have two offers. And I decided to go to NASA. After a few years, I decided to move. I thought it was going to be my lifelong career, but I don't know. At some point, I was ready for a change. So I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And as I mentioned, worked for a telecom brand and supplier diversity and helping diverse businesses with opportunities. And I realized that there was an entrepreneur within me and I needed her to emerge. And sometimes in life, things happen where you just have to um, step out on faith. And in my case, my mother passed away at home alone at the age of 61. And I remember the impact that that had on my journey. And I wanted to be able to contribute and give something back. So I made a prayer in my mother's services that I wanted to start a company because her services to me felt like they lasted 7 minutes. And I was like, is that what life comes down to? Is 7 minutes of time? And people were going back to their cars. I remember this. And I said, I want to start a company that is inspiring, that creates a legacy, that is has global implication. But I wanted to make up for those 7 minutes of time. And when I came back to Atlanta, I said, what kind of company could I start? I said, I'm going to start a communications brand. Well, why am I going to do that? How do we communicate? Verbally, non-verbally, and writing. What else do? We email people. Well, who do we email? One click is anywhere in the world, internal, external. And I said, email people. We email people. And I signed up for 150 different brands' emails. Anything you can imagine, I signed up for it. And here's the thing. I did not feel special when I received the communication. And I said to myself, wow, here's 150 companies. They're sending me paragraphs of text, or they're sending me a hyperlink I got to click. They're sending me a static graphic with a play button or a 3-second looping GIF like a little cat, but it didn't tell a story. And that was my aha moment to say, Lisa, this is going to be your mark in the place to deliver back to the world. You're going to bring email to life. And the brand happened to be iMail. And that was my journey.
It's awesome. That is a great story.
Thank you.
And I'm happy we both live in the same state.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, Lisa, our two final questions. One is, what one piece of advice, be it business or personal, would you share with our audience so they may be as successful as you have been?
One piece of advice is Always believe in your dream and your vision, even if no one else believes in it. It's going to be a lot of days where you might be at home alone in the dark hours wondering how's it going to map out. I want you to remember to dig deep and know that all things are possible. I'm a big Rocky fan, and I got to tell this. Rocky says it doesn't matter how hard you get hit, how hard you hit, but how hard you can take the hit, get up, and keep moving forward. And that's how winning is done. And I use that as part of my motto. You're going to have ups and downs, but keep going forward no matter what.
Right. I love that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Lisa, if people want to get a hold of you, connect with you, or even learn more about iMail, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way to get in contact with me is I would love a connection on LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn, I'm under Lisa S. Jones. Please put the S in there to find me. Also, if you go to iMail's website, imailinc.com, and again, that's EYEMAILINC.com. And lastly, I'll say if you want to personally email me, if I could be of any support or service or refer anything that you might need related to email, feel free to email me at Lisa Jones, that's one word, LISAJONES, at imailinc.com. And again, that's EYEMAILINC.com.
Thanks, Lisa. I really appreciate it. It's been a great speaking with you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. And I look forward to us talking about your sales process and how you follow and how you.
It's coming up. All right, folks, let me close this thing out. Really appreciate everyone listening to this week's episode. Please subscribe on your favorite platform. If you get a chance, leave us a review, leave us some comments. We greatly appreciate all your support. That's it for now.